Hey everyone, Chris here from VarsityGaming. So before I say anything else, I want to quickly apologize for the clickbaity thumbnail and title. I just want this video to go to as many people that are subscribed to the channel as possible so that they're informed of what's happening. I'm not making any decisions to quit YouTube yet or anything like that. I just want to let you guys know about some issues that's been happening at YouTube and how it affects the channel, myself, and everything else that I do on here. So anyways, this is going to be quite a bit of a rant. I'm hoping not to go for too long, but this is something that's really been bugging me for a while, and I want to let you guys know what's happening, so who knows how long I'll go for. I'll try to cut it down to give you guys the quick details, but here I go. So for those of you who don't know, YouTube's been getting hit pretty hard, and with it, the content creators have been suffering a lot. Ever since, as far as I can tell, March 27th is when everything kind of went to shit. So basically, a bunch of companies were told that their ads were being shown on videos that were pretty controversial, some including racism, some about terrorism, and other extremist type groups. And because of this, a lot of companies have been pulling out their advertising funding. What this means is that they refuse to advertise at all on YouTube and has essentially been bringing revenue down across the board. We are going from earning, for most part, a decent livable wage to earning pennies or dollars a day. And this is a huge hit for a lot of people. Not so much for the bigger channels because they do have other sources of revenue, especially through t-shirt sales and other forms of monetization. But it's really hitting hard the channels like mine, which are in the medium range and really can't branch out to other platforms or other means of monetization, but instead have to rely on ad revenue for most of our income. So before I go playing the blame game at all, I do take a lot of responsibility for this because it was short-sighted of me to invest a lot of my time and effort into one platform, which a lot of people will say never to do because as soon as that fails, everything else is fucked. And so that is my own responsibility, but I am still upset with YouTube for everything that's happening, especially for the lack of communication. I had no idea that this was even a thing until about last week, until they never sent me an email. They never said anything to me. All they did was just have a little pop-up on my channel, which I'll show you guys here in a second. So basically, this is what it looks like when I go to my own channel and I look at it. This down here where it says channel tips on the far right is where they decided to tell me about what was happening. They never sent me an email. They never notified me directly at all. They decided to hide a little box in the corner saying, hey, this is what's up and this is why you're losing a ton of money. So basically, until I saw that notification, I had just assumed that the channel was in a bit of a slump and nothing wrong was happening. I had heard a lot about other content creators getting hit pretty hard, but I just assumed in general that the channel was just in a slump because I hadn't released one of those expectation versus reality videos in a while, and I know those are the ones that really bring in the views. So I figured that it was just something that I was doing wrong and that I had to start optimizing my channel, but then I realized about last week that that's really not the case. So the big issue that's facing a lot of channels is if your video description, title, or thumbnail has absolutely anything to do or any possible connection to some type of controversial topic, YouTube will stop showing ads on your video. Now, this wouldn't be a huge issue because recently they implemented a feature where, as you'll see here on the side of videos, there's a little green money icon, and that means that video is monetized. That lets content creators know when they quickly look at their video manager like, hey, oh, this video is monetized. I don't have to worry about it. And then they also have the gray money icon, which means that it's not monetized because you chose not to monetize it or because it was not illegible due to copyright or anything like that. And then they introduced a yellow icon, which meant it was not monetized because it was not advertiser friendly. But now the issue is that even with that system in place, the yellow monetization mark, videos are getting demonetized without us content creators knowing. So what you're seeing here on the screen is the ad impressions statistics for the channel. And you can see a very noticeable difference about a third way through the chart. This tall point here is March 26th. So on March 26th, you can see I made a total of, just based on the top 5 countries, about 20,000 ad impressions, which is pretty decent for a channel my size. Now, you can see on March 27th, that changed drastically. That drops to, just based on the top 5, about 5,000. So around a 75% drop in ad impressions. So if you go through my channel, you can see for the most part, like almost all of my videos are pretty, I guess, advertiser friendly. They don't have anything controversial in the titles. They don't cover anything controversial in general in the topics. It's just basically a easy description of what is entailed in the video. But what I noticed was, if you scroll back into my videos, you can see that on March 27th is when I released a Ghost Recon Wildlands video. And in that video, the main mission that we did, and the funniest part of the video, was that we had to essentially record a sex tape of a cartel member in order to blackmail them in the video game. And I called the video "Making a Sex Tape." It was relatable enough that I felt that it should be included as the title. And since then, my channel has suffered a lot. So the main issue with this is that it definitely seems like the system is not just targeting single videos, it is targeting channels as a whole. As soon as you upload one video that can be seen as controversial or anything that would trigger advertisers to pull out, is essentially like it's blacklisting your entire channel, saying like, hey, you can't advertise on this channel because they upload videos like this. And since then, I have changed the thumbnails and the titles of most of my videos that could be seen as even slightly controversial, just because I'm afraid of this. And even then, I haven't seen any changes. I changed 2 or 3 thumbnails and titles from the last month or so that could be seen as slightly controversial, and I have seen absolutely no change in views or monetization revenue at all. So this is where the big issue is like, I essentially created one video that could really be seen as controversial, and now the channel is like permanently marked as don't advertise here, and this channel is now fucked. Now this might be a little over dramatic of it all, but it is essentially what is happening. And you can even see it's not just the ad impressions that suffered after that, it is also views and traffic being driven to the channel. You can see the ad impressions and ad revenue went down March 27th by a drastic amount. And then if you look at views and watch time, around the exact same day, March 27th, everything dropped a ton. Just basically my stats across the board dropped an unbelievable amount, between 50 to 75%, and have stayed that way almost since. So basically the crux of the issue is I am putting a lot of time and effort into these videos. So say for average ranked videos, I would probably record for about 4 hours. I'll probably get 1 or 2 good matches to use in that, because it needs to be good from start to finish. And then I have to spend about an hour editing, and then another hour rendering, another hour uploading. So on the overall for one video of ranked, I'm probably putting in about 5 to 8 hours, depending on how hard it is to get a video. And then now these videos are making like $1 to $5 when I put them out, even though they're getting between 10 to 20,000 views. So there's a huge issue there in that I am not earning enough for the time that I put in. As much as I like to do these videos, and I do them for fun, I don't do this because I have to make a living, I do this because I want to make them. There's still the big issue of it is now becoming way too much time to sink in for way too little gain. And this is where you guys come in. So I am not entirely sure what to do. I've been looking at other options, but as far as video sharing websites go, nothing really compares to YouTube, and basically switching to another platform that might die in a few months is not a really solid option for me. So the main thing I've been looking at is Twitch. I know a lot of people come in for the streams and a lot of people like the streams, but for the most part, everything is on YouTube. Every stream I do for Siege on YouTube will usually bring in between somewhere around 60 to 100 people, sometimes more, sometimes less, but that's around the average. But then Twitch only brings in between 5 to 20, depending on how big of a day it is. Currently, my plans, like I said in the beginning of this video, none of this is set in stone. I'm not changing anything yet, but these are my thoughts. My current plan is to pull back on the amount of videos that I'm putting up on YouTube. This would probably be cutting it down to like 2 or 3 a week because of how much time it takes to make them. and then still streaming daily, but I'd only be streaming on Twitch. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be saying like, hey, why don't you stream on both YouTube and Twitch? That makes it more fair so everyone can watch it. And although that is a good point, the main issue I have right now is if I want to set up on another platform and grow on there, I have to leave behind YouTube when it comes to streams. And in the future anyways, if I were ever to get a lot bigger on Twitch and eventually get a sub button, which is something I'm aiming to do, it means that I would have to stop streaming on YouTube anyways because Twitch has a clause in their contract saying you can only stream on Twitch. So basically, to summarize, because I'm pretty sure I've probably scattered this all out and maybe not everyone's following, my current plan, which would take into effect in about 2 weeks or so, is to stream only on Twitch, but daily, and then upload 2 to 3 videos on YouTube a week. So yeah, anyways, I've rambled enough about this. If you guys have any questions at all, just leave them in the comments. I will answer all of them, and I will try to let you guys know what's happening. My basic question at the end of this, in case if I haven't outlined it, because I don't think I have, is would you guys still watch me on Twitch? And would you guys be fine with me uploading less on YouTube in order to do that? I would like to basically split up platforms in case if one fails, I have a backup instead of having this situation come up in the future where I'm solely on one platform and then if it ever fails, I'm fucked. And I hope I didn't freak you guys out at all. Like I said before, nothing's changing yet. This is just me informing you guys because I want you guys to be in the know. I don't like channels that completely isolate their viewers and try to maintain everything to themselves. I want you guys to know what's happening and know how I'm feeling about all this. I've ranted about it a lot on stream, so I figured I'd just put it all into one video so I don't have to talk about it as much and you guys can just know what's happening. Anyways, okay, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for listening, and please comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.